Earlier in 2024, I was at a February 16th State Restoration Day event in Vilnius and noticed how there were two different types of this Lithuanian flag. Yes, I know there's also the historic flag with the Vytis, but for this video, I wanted to focus exclusively on this flag, the tricolored flag, or Vėliava trispalvė. Why does it seem like there are two different versions? Is one just older, or is one fake? And do Lithuanians even care? I wanted to try and answer these questions for today's video. So yes, as you can see, there seem to be at least two variations of Lithuania's tricolored flag. They're both yellow, green, and red, but many flags I see, and even internet graphics, sport this bright and lively yellow rather than the deep golden yellow that you see in the other version. This is the most obvious difference, but I think even the greens and reds are a little different too. I think overall, one has a brighter yellow, green, and red, while the shades are deeper in this other one. I asked people through my Instagram channel what the story was. My first instinct was that those bright ones were an older version from the 90s. The darker ones just feel more modern, as if those deeper colors were an update to fit a contemporary style. However, I couldn't find any information about the existence of an old and new version, other than ratios, which I'll get into a little later. What I was able to find was a law from 1991 that states that the Lithuanian flag must be yellow on top, green in the middle, and red at the bottom. If that is the most specific the government gets, then it makes sense for old flags to have different shades of yellow, or green, or red. After all, the law is rather imprecise. However, outside of color, I learned that between 1990 and July 2004, the official flag ratio was 1:2. However, in 2004, the government restored the proportions of the pre-war state flag, which is 3:5. Now, the earliest mention that I could find of precise colors is this document from 2007. As you can see, it lists the exact Pantone color as well as CMYK and RGB and HTML. It makes sense for this document to be published in the 2000s as things became more digitized and colors are displayed differently on various types of screens. So having exact color codes ensures consistency, especially when you're using printers. I feel like there must have been some clear government decision to choose those specific Pantones and digital color codes, but I just can't find anything more specific than that 2007 document. I think all types of shades must have been okay at some point, especially when you look at old color videos and photos where the Lithuanian government uses flags with the brighter yellow. But that doesn't fully explain why, in 2024, these brighter flags still exist, and are even sold in large stores. One or two people told me that those brighter flags are simply fake or unofficial flags. And if we follow this reasoning, there is some logic to it, and allow me to explain. Lithuania's flag colors are yellow on top, green in the middle, and red at the bottom. What other flags around the world have this arrangement? Well, here's what Wikipedia says. As you can see, there's Bolivar, which is a region/department within the country of Colombia. Apparently, the town and municipality in the Western Netherlands, known as Hillegom, has this as its flag. And then with a little more variation, we have Myanmar with a white star in the middle, and Shan State within Myanmar, which has a white circle in the middle. The national flag of Myanmar took its current form in 2010, and you can even find Lithuanian articles on the internet talking about how this new Myanmar flag is so similar to Lithuania's. And then on top of all this, Lithuania's flag also resembles the flag of the Danish island of Ero, which looks like three Lithuanian flags stacked on top of each other. And so hey, if I'm the owner of a flag making factory in China wanting to sell flags to the world, it just makes sense to just print one pattern and use it as the basis for multiple flags, especially if people are willing to accept that other color. Printing is faster and cheaper, and if it's a foreign company doing it, I can't really imagine them caring at all about color accuracy. In addition to more intense research, I asked my social media audience again about the different colors, and didn't seem to find any further answers. It really does just feel like some Lithuanians are somewhat ambivalent towards sporting flags that are the real official colors, and instead, well, they just go for the cheaper option. I also asked my Instagram audience, many of whom are Lithuanian, if color accuracy matters to them. Well, after 23 hours of voting, I collected over 750 votes. 20%, around 177 people, voted that they were neutral or undecided. More than 616 people said that yes, accuracy does matter. And then I was most surprised by the fact that 94 people, about 11%, voted that it doesn't matter and that it's being too picky. I'm not going to name and shame these people, but scrolling through the list of accounts that voted that it doesn't matter, there were a lot of Lithuanian names in there. But ultimately, from that 2007 document, it's clear that Lithuania has had precise official colors for quite a while now, and there's no excuse to be selling or using unofficial flags, at least in my opinion. The most surprising thing for me was finding these types of flags in the major Lithuanian bookstore chain known as Pegasus. I guess for me it feels like reputable businesses should stay away from selling these knockoffs, but it is what it is. In my opinion, I think hanging or waving a flag with the official colors matters, especially when there are a few other parts of the world with flags that are really similar. I'm pretty sure there's an official red for the Canadian flag, but I think Canadian flags that have different shades of red don't matter as much because of its design with the maple leaf in the middle. It's so unique that it's impossible to confuse with anything else. I'm not saying that people who wave these fake Lithuanian flags at a public event will somehow be accused of supporting the Boulevard Department of Colombia, but I am saying that it's good to go that extra step to make sure you're waving the real colors of Lithuania, especially because so many Lithuanians fought hard against the Soviets to earn the right to fly this flag. But that really is just my own foreigner opinion, and so I know it matters less than the opinions of Lithuanians. So I guess to summarize my findings, before 2007, the most specific the government got with flag colors was just saying yellow, green, and red. And then since at least 2007, there have been very specific color codes to eliminate any ambiguity about which shades are official. And prior to 2004, the official ratio of the flag was 1:2, but for the past 20 years, it's been 3:5. Of course, if you can find any additional information, please do let me know by leaving a comment. One last thing before I conclude this video, I guess I should explain what the three colors represent. Yellow symbolizes dawn, with some sources saying that it represents prosperity and the Lithuanian sun. Green is for forests, the countryside, liberty, and hope. And red represents the blood and bravery of those who died for Lithuania. Now, I couldn't find any official government sources that clearly state this, but many unofficial sources and many Lithuanians themselves tell me that this is what the colors represent. An official government website does say that 3 equal stripes of the flag mean universal equality before law. And so I'd love to know what you think about all of this. Does it matter that people use the wrong shades of yellow, green, or red to represent the Lithuanian flag and Lithuanian national colors? Or is it being too picky? Everything fades eventually, right? And what do you think of reputable businesses selling these unofficial flags? If I were to try and see the benefits, maybe offering these cheaper knockoff flags gives poorer Lithuanians an opportunity to be patriotic? I don't know. I know I've asked a lot of questions, but I'm genuinely curious about the opinions of Lithuanians and perhaps fellow foreigners. Do let me know what you think by leaving a comment. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.